and in fact to protect against the catastrophic costs associated with Medicare or medical expenses. I also think that there are now emerging many more options for individuals to build those segregated assets in specific types of benefit plans during the working years. And following in the vein of the defined contribution plans that have been emerging in the for retirement purposes, the 401ks, 403bs, 457s. We're also thinking now about the defined contribution or consumer-directed health care products that are available in the working years. Clearly, there are going to be tax advantages associated with some of these savings vehicles. That would be helpful, helps remove some of the barriers from savings, and institutions and organizations, corporations are getting much more involved with high deductible plans and health savings accounts. This has obviously been growing over the last several years. And people need to take a look at how much could they set aside in those health savings accounts in addition to whatever the employer is putting in, and how much of that could they reserve for retiree health care expenses versus utilizing year to year, day to day for expenses during their active working years. Now, clearly, if you're a mid-income family and you're in a high deductible plan and it has a $5,000 deductible and your employer's putting in $3,000 a year into your HSA, you may need to use that up just to your regular expenses for health care. But to the extent possible, it would be great to be able to reserve some of that money for health care expenses in retirement. So it is a good build-up vehicle for that. Health reimbursement accounts are also being utilized by employers today, corporate world as well as the nonprofit sector. And they tend to be for employer contributions only. They may or may not participate in investment returns, but it's going to be some promise to give you some amount of dollars in retirement to spend down on health care expenses. That may be a good way to build up assets, but it's probably going to also be subject to vesting schedules, and so you may or may not be able to take it with you when you leave that employer. And of course, in a much more mobile workforce as we are today, you may not always be able to take those assets with you wherever you go. In the nonprofit educational world, we have VEBAs, Voluntary Employee Beneficiary Associations, that are utilized to a greater and greater degree these days. They are very good build-up vehicles for